to Ink Blots. I'm Chastity. Today's video is the first one that I'm doing after I changed my channel name. So I thought that I would use it as the opportunity to talk about why I changed my channel name and go from there. So I've been on YouTube for about 1.5 years now, maybe a little bit longer, and I had already had the name Crazy Creations for other creative things that I was doing. So when I made my channel, it was really the only name that I had at my fingertips to make my channel under. And I went crazy. All my social media got created, like all that stuff. And at the time, it seemed like a fairly decent name. It worked for what it was, but that was when I wasn't doing really anything specific. So eventually I got to YouTube and I started posting videos and doing more very specific art things. And gradually I started realizing that name really didn't fit me anymore. Not only was it long and it certainly wasn't catchy or interesting or very much myself, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And I kind of lost the desire to really do anything under that name, which I think is part of the reason why I didn't post a lot of videos, aside from the lack of time. That's always a big factor for me. But eventually I started realizing that I did need to change my name, but I just didn't know what to. And thankfully I joined a Discord server called The Art Room, which got started by Hello Alice, an art YouTuber. I'm sure you guys are familiar with her, and a few other bigger YouTubers. I mean, it's a really amazing place. I find myself feeling a part of the art YouTuber community, whereas I was just an art YouTuber and I didn't really know anybody, and I didn't, consider anyone my friends, and I didn't communicate really other than posting comments on other people's videos with any other art YouTubers. And I only had a couple follow me back or that I followed after starting my channel. So for me, it was a really great thing because it put me in line with everybody. Small channels or big channels or medium channels or any size. And one of those really great people, Claudia Sketches, helped me come up with my name, which I thought was amazing because to me, the funny thing about people is that, either they're really helpful and they're really nice, or they really just don't give a crap. And everybody in the art room are decently human, wonderful people who want to help everybody and who are always, offering advice and collabing with people and just being, a tight-knit group. And she really helped me kind of go in the right direction. I can't say that, I came up with the name brilliantly the same day I spoke to her, but she definitely got me thinking in a way that I hadn't before. So after a few months of not really doing anything, and also I will say that it was summer and the room that I do my art in and record in is upstairs with no air conditioning whatsoever. So it was really hot. And I just was not interested in making anything up there. And before that, I didn't really have a way of making videos anywhere else. So I was pretty much stuck, making videos only in that room. And then, I think the time away and just kind of trying to stay on top of my social media, watching all my views tank again, I realized that it was time. Like, I really had to think about this. I really had to put some good effort into it. And the funny thing is that the name just kind of came to me. I didn't really have to think about it for very long. It was just like, oh, okay. Well, that's in my head. Let me write it down. So I wrote it down, and eventually I asked a couple people, and they all seemed to like it, they thought it was cute or interesting. And so gradually I made the switch, and I changed my channel name, but I didn't change any of the graphics. And then eventually, I worked on my logo, and I was able to, over, I would say probably about 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more than that, I was able to get everything kind of converted. The only downside about changing your channel name is that you can't really change your email. And I certainly wasn't going to start brand new with 0 subscribers under an email that matched. So my email is still Crazy Creations. I guess you got to take the good with the bad, right? And on the grand scheme of things, it's really not that bad. But here I am with a new logo and updated channel information and graphics, and a new intro and outro for all my videos, and I'm pretty excited. Except it's taken me probably about a month and a half to actually get this video out, which means that all of this happened in August, and this video announcing all of the wonderful changes is October. That's pretty depressing, actually. But I think another issue that I wanted to touch on was that, this is a hobby, and I've talked about it in previous videos, that I do this for fun. I don't make money off of it. I don't anticipate making money out of YouTube anytime soon. I don't have the time to invest in that. As much as I would love to be able to do YouTube more, I really just don't have the time. But what I realized in thinking about, everything that I was going to talk about in this video is that it isn't so much that I don't have the time. It's more the product of, I feel guilty if I spend time doing this and not spend it with my family, which is such a pain in the ass. It really is. I mean, I could go and close the door to the office and say, I'm going to do some videos and leave me alone. And my family would leave me alone. My husband would respect that, and my kids would listen to that. But then I don't know if I would enjoy myself. So then when I do get the opportunity to sit down and I want to draw something, I draw with the door open, which means that I have to stop and start, and I get interrupted, and my kids want to join in, and they want to watch what I'm doing and be a part of all that. And then it just becomes this whole thing because I can't just close the door. So, what exactly am I even talking about? Like, what's my point? Well, my point is that I want to do more videos. I do. And I want to be more active. And maybe not because I expect to get views or subscribers out of it, but I feel like for once, it's not a matter of I don't want to do the art, or I am discouraged in my progress or my skill level. It's just more, I don't want to do something that's going to make me feel bad about it. And that's just a personal thing. Like, I need to get over that crap because I'm an adult, and, if I want to spend an hour doing something that is by myself, even after I've worked all day, I should be able to do that and not feel bad about it. I know this. My family knows this. It's just a matter of me actually executing that situation and doing it. But the main reason why this video took so long is because of this voiceover that I wanted to record, because obviously I needed to explain some things, and I wanted to explain some things, and I want to connect with those that watch my videos and kind of feel like, I have that with my subscribers. But I don't have the kind of setup to just be able to record a voiceover. I don't have the equipment to be able to do that. And trying to do that at my house is very difficult. Because yes, I could close the door and I could, draw, but I don't know that I'd be able to close the door and successfully do a voiceover, because the room is not soundproofed and everybody can hear everything that I say. And unfortunately, my anxiety kind of gets to me, and then I don't really talk like myself, and I kind of sound quiet and reserved and not really as obnoxious as I normally sound. And I don't want to do that because I feel that that's fake. I don't feel like that's me, or that's showing everybody who I really am. So what am I doing? I'm on my way home from work in my car, recording my voiceover and hoping that the sound quality is good enough, and hoping that it doesn't sound ridiculous, and hoping that at the end of it, you guys are still going to be watching, because ultimately 2 minutes in, you could say, I can't even understand what's happening right now. And that's hard. That's hard for me. But I want to try and do something that's better than that. And hopefully I can get there. But I also want to put content on my channel. So I think my goal is to record some more videos, and maybe not necessarily do voiceovers for every single one, but I want to try and put more videos out there of all kinds of videos and be a little bit more active. So I really hope that at the end of all this that you stick around and maybe subscribe if you're not currently a subscriber. And I really want to know if any of you are also mothers and face a little bit of mom guilt, because I think that would be an interesting discussion to see where everybody else is at with that. So this piece was something that I kind of just came up with. I had posted a part 1 video previously, so it probably does look a little bit familiar. But it just came to me one day, and it doesn't really have any specific meaning behind it, or at least it didn't intend to have any meaning behind it. I'm trying to, just create things that come to my mind, or just things that I picture. But sometimes, I just sit down and I just start drawing, and a lot of times I start drawing one thing, and instead of scrapping the entire picture because, something doesn't come out the way I want it to, I manipulate it a little bit and change a little bit of features to kind of make it suit what I'm trying to do, or, take it in a different direction. That was something that I did with my Melting Girl piece, where I just drew a girl and her face kind of didn't come out the way I wanted, and then suddenly I had this idea of what I could still do with everything else that I had drawn that I liked. So it's the same with this. The proportions weren't quite right, and so I decided that because I like making things that are kind of weird and creepy, I would use that as a way to do something to this one. So I'm happy how it came out in that respect. In terms of the finished product, it's not as great as I would want it to be. I think the background, I could have done that differently. I like the spider webs, but I don't like the colors around her. That just didn't come out well. Not only because they aren't symmetrical whatsoever, the colors didn't. It was weird because I remember when I drew it, I had used the chisel tip on my markers, and they were actually a different color then the other tip, the bullet, I think it's the bullet nib, they were a different color, like drastically a different color. It was really strange. And so that was weird. And then also I messed up and I grabbed the wrong marker. So for a little bit, like I'm coloring a section that was the wrong color. And then I had it was a hot mess on that background. It's a hot mess. But her and her stitches and, her multicolored skin and all of those other elements, the hair, all of the other details I really enjoy, and I'm really proud of. And maybe, this could be something that I could do as a draw it again in the future. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you liked it, and if you did, the way that you can tell me is by hitting that thumbs up button. And also comment. I absolutely love comments, and I don't get a lot of comments, and it would be great if you commented on anything that I talked about in the video or the drawing itself, or you just want to say hi. That's cool too. But I do hope that you liked it enough to maybe subscribe, because that would be great also. And maybe I will see you guys